Okay, I've drawn just a box, a box, solid box, with an extrusion, and we're in the Freeform Surfaces command. Now, you got all these little points here, but if you set these to movable, and you can add points. Because of the movable surfaces, I can't put any here because they're not movable. I think I'm drawing too many of these. Okay. Yeah, let me see if I can delete some of these. Okay, there we go. Shit. I've got these control points, on these various surfaces. Okay, and said it appears to peel them away, but the fact of the matter is, if you hit go, I've actually deformed the surface of that flat part. So, it was just a straight box that I created. So it's kind of cool. Okay, I'm going to try an experiment on the bottom of this part. Let's see if we can add some curves here. So I had a couple of curves, and now I can add points to those. Now the edge are still going to still be listed as contact. So but again, I can. Oops, let me select this other edge. Okay, so basically, we're deforming it while keeping our edges intact. So now supposedly this tangent thing is very tricky to use. This expert, advises against it. And movable allows us to move the edges. But contact means contact. Now tangent and curvature, really mostly apply. They wouldn't apply to an object like this with straight edges. But if we had like a cylinder or something, with curves in it, and we had this, because you can edit surfaces too, by the way. But so we could take like a cylinder, okay, and edit one of its surfaces, and and you might want to maintain the either the curvature of the cylinder at the edges, or or at least keep it tangent, around the edges. But the open end of the cylinder you may not care about, so you could set that edge to like movable or whatever. So, or keep it in contact, like we have here. But at any rate, if we go ahead and select that, you can see what the changes we made. It's still basically a rectangle, but the mid part has been deformed in the way we just defined. So anyway, it's pretty cool. And by the way, too, if you go and like do a freeform on something, you can set a user defined direction for some of these things, so that can really affect how your curves are. If you go and add curves to it and so forth, that could affect how those turn out. So like I said, you can draw them along this area, etc. So, and you hit tab to flip direction, or push that button. So anyway, and of course, you can go and control the mesh density down here. Or the transparency of the surface. We got a mesh preview, but you can show you know, like zebra curves and so forth, but they're not going to have any bearing on this. But we can go edit this feature. Well, damn it. Go edit this feature here. Okay, and you know, get a better look at some of those. You know, so we can do a zebra stripe on it. You know, or show our contour curves. So, I wonder how you flip direction on that. Oh, here we go. So yeah, you can show them from two different directions. So, contour type, you know, do the curve type or just a surface. We can scale it, you know, so you can scale the size of them and change the density. So anyway, density looks good on these. So